Job interviews can be challenging for professionals due to several reasons. The high stakes involved, limited time to make a strong impression, intense competition among candidates, uncertainty about the outcome, fear of being judged, complex and thought provoking questions, feeling of having little control over the situation, and the pressure to perform well can all contribute to the difficulty of interviews. It is important for candidates to be prepared, confident, and adaptable in order to navigate these challenges successfully. As you know, a training series is ongoing. The most difficult and important questions and their appropriate answers. And this is part 9. Specifically, in this training session, I'll cover confined spaces. First of all, few important questions that mostly asked during the job interview by the safety managers with respect to confined space entries. So, without wasting time, let's get started. Question number 1. Can you explain what a confined space is and provide few examples? Question number 2. What are the potential hazards associated with working in confined spaces? Question number 3. How would you ensure that proper entry procedures are followed before entering a confined space? Question number 4. What steps would you take to ensure continuous air monitoring in a confined space? Question number 5. How would you evaluate and control the risks of hazardous substances in a confined space? Question number 6. Can you highlight the importance of proper ventilation in a confined space? Question number 7. What measures would you take to prevent unauthorized entry into a confined space? Question number 8. How would you handle an emergency situation involving a worker inside a confined space? Question number 9. Can you discuss the necessary precautions to prevent engulfment or entrapment in a confined space? And the last question number 10. How would you ensure that workers are adequately trained and equipped for working in a confined space? These are the most commonly asked questions during safety officer job interviews. To assess a candidate's knowledge and understanding of confined space hazards, regulations, and safety precautions, especially when he or she is going to join an infrastructure project or an oil and gas sector. It is important to be well prepared and provide specific examples and practical solutions when answering these questions. You are on the platform of Safety First Life. If you are watching for the first time, kindly subscribe it and press the bell icon for all future notifications. And if you find the video informative, then like, comment, and share it with your friends and fellows. If I'll cover all these 10 questions in this training session, maybe the video length will increase more than an hour. So, I'll answer the very first question. Can you explain what a confined space is and provide examples? The answer will be certainly. A confined space is a working area that has limited entry and exit points and is not intended for continuous human occupancy. It is characterized by limited means of entry or exit, limited airflow, and potential hazards that can pose risk to workers' health and safety. Confined spaces can be found in various industries such as construction, manufacturing, utilities, and petrochemicals. To be classified as a confined space, three key elements must be present. Number one, limited entry and exit. Confined spaces typically have restricted access points, making it challenging to enter or exit quickly in case of an emergency. Number two, not designed for continuous occupation. These spaces are not intended for long term occupancy due to their size, configuration, or lack of ventilation. And number three, there are potential hazards. Confined spaces often contain hazards such as lack of oxygen, toxic gases, flammable substances, high temperatures, or mechanical hazards. Examples of confined spaces include storage tanks, pipelines, tunnels, manholes, vats, silos, pits, and deep excavations. It is important to note that not all enclosed spaces are considered confined spaces. It depends on the specific criteria that is mentioned in safety standards and regulations. Safety standards such as OSHA's Confined Space Entry Standard 29 CFR 1910.146 in the United States provide guidelines to identify, evaluate, and control hazards associated with confined spaces. These standards emphasize the importance of proper planning, training, and safety precautions to protect workers entering or working near confined spaces. The logic behind stringent safety precautions for confined spaces is to prevent accidents, injuries, and fatalities. The restricted nature of these spaces increases the risk of exposure to hazardous atmospheres, engulfment, entrapment, or asphyxiation. By understanding the definition of confined spaces, recognizing potential hazards, implementing proper control measures, and following safety protocols, employers can mitigate risks and ensure the well being of workers entering or working in confined spaces. Always remember, confined spaces are silent potential killers. And up to this level, a standard appropriate answer to this question in the upcoming training session. I'll highlight what are the potential hazards associated with working in confined spaces and how would you ensure that proper entry procedures are followed before entering a confined space. And that will be part 10. Dear friends and fellows, if you have any question in your mind with respect to safety officer job interview or confined spaces, please write down in the comment section and I'll respond as urgent as possible. And that's all for now. Thanks for watching and don't forget to subscribe. Wish to see you soon with a new HSC tutorial. Until then, take care, good luck, and goodbye.